This video will demonstrate how structure product labeling, known as SPL, is added to the submission content plan. Before you watch this video, please review the SCP for labeling presentation materials and hands-on demonstration videos. These videos will provide the basic understanding about how to use SCP for labeling. Our topics for today are: what is SPL? How to populate the SPL publishing worksheet template? Where is the SPL located in the ECTD backbone? How to populate the SCP with the structured product labeling? And where to find SCP for labeling resources? What is SPL? Structure product labeling, also known as SPL, is the content of prescription drug labeling in an XML format. If you would like to learn more about structured product labeling, please review the SPL training we have in the Global Labeling SharePoint site. This site is restricted to the Global Labeling group only. However, if you are interested in learning more about structured product labeling, the training videos are available to anyone with a Sanofi email address. Just click the See More link in the details of this video for links to the SPL Global Labeling training videos. So, how is the SPL created? Here at Sanofi, we use a vendor to convert the leaflet text to structured product labeling. The SPL is made up of an XML file and JPEG files. It is then saved as a zip file and uploaded into Vault RIM. Any change made to the label, such as an update approved by the FDA or annual reportable changes, must also be updated in the SPL for that product. The SPL is then sent to the FDA via the Electronic Submission Gateway. FDA-approved structured product labeling can be viewed and downloaded from DailyMed. DailyMed is a website operated by the U.S. National Library of Medicine to publish up-to-date and accurate drug labels to healthcare providers and the general public. Before we go into the submission content plan, first we need to prepare and complete the SPL publishing worksheet. This worksheet will help the publisher build the SPL section of the ECTD submission. In most cases, the product will already have an SPL on its ECTD backbone. Let's take a look at one in Insight for Viewing, Sanofi's ECTD viewer. For demonstration purposes, we will use docetaxel as our product. The trade name for this product is Taxotere. To look up the product, enter the application number and click the display button. Click on the application number to open the ECTD backbone in the current view. This view will show you the most current documents that have been submitted to the FDA for this application. Let's go to the labeling section, expand the draft labeling section, and if you double-click on draft labeling text, it will expand the entire section below. Let's say, as an example, we need to prepare draft SPL to be submitted to the FDA. You see, there is already a draft SPL on the ECTD backbone right here. You know, this information would be very helpful if we had it in a table. Okay, let's go do that. Right-click on the ECTD section header that says Draft Labeling Text. Click Print Talk. Make sure Include File Name is checked. And click OK. This will prompt you to save the file to your computer. Go ahead and do that. Now let's go open that file. As you can see, this is the ECTD backbone with all the information you need: the ECTD titles and the ECTD file names. Select the SPL ECTD title and file names. Make sure to capture the XML file and all the associated JPEG files. Copy that information, Control-C. Next, let's open the SPL Publishing Worksheet template in Microsoft Excel. This template can be found in the Global Labeling SharePoint site. Just search for SPL Publishing Worksheet. In this field, add the product name, also known as the INN. Next, enter the trade name. Enter the application number. Next, enter the sequence number. And lastly, the submission date. If you do not know the exact submission date, then just enter the planned submission date. Now let's save this file with the trade name, application number, sequence number, and the submission date as the file name. Remember where you saved this file because you will need to attach it to the submission record later in this process. Next, here is where you will let the publisher know if this SPL is being submitted under the draft labeling text section or the final labeling text section in the ECTD backbone. This does make a difference as draft SPL is located under the 1.14.1.3 section and final SPL is located under the 1.14.2.3 section in the ECTD backbone. Select draft labeling from the dropdown. Click in this cell. And we are going to paste using match destination formatting. How you do that is by right-clicking in the cell and selecting this icon, Match Destination Formatting. You just pasted what is currently on the ECTD backbone for Taxotere. We now want to update this information in preparation for submission to the FDA. Next, open the SPL that is being submitted. You may already have this file on your local computer, or if you already uploaded it to Vault RIM, then you can download it from there also. Double-click on the SPL zip file to view its contents. Confirm the number of JPEG files are the same as you have in the SPL publishing worksheet. If the number of JPEG files are different, add or remove rows as needed. Next, click on the XML file so that you can capture the file name and replace that file name in the SPL publishing worksheet. Now that you have the correct number of rows in your worksheet, next is to update the ECTD titles in bulk. Select these cells, which includes the XML titles. On the Home ribbon, click the Find and Select button. Then, click Replace. This will open the Find and Replace window. You can also bring this window up by typing Alt-E-E on the keyboard. Enter in the Find What field what you want to replace. Then, in the Replace With field, enter what you want to replace it with. Click the Replace All button. As you can see, your list has been updated. You can run, find, and replace as many times as you need to update the ECTD titles and file names. Click this X to close the Find and Replace window. Since this SPL is for an initial draft labeling supplement, the XML operation to select is new. This worksheet is now complete for a draft SPL. Now I will show you an example of how to prepare a final SPL for a submission to the FDA. Let's go back to Insight for viewing. Expand the final labeling text section, and here you see there are two final SPLs on this ECTD backbone. Right-click on Final Labeling Text, click Print Talk. Make sure Include File Names is checked. Click OK. Save the file to your computer, and now go open that file. You see here we have the final labeling text from the ECTD backbone. This one is the Trade SPL, and this one is the Authorized Generic SPL. Select the SPL and copy to your clipboard. Control-C. Now open the SPL publishing worksheet and paste the final SPL information from Insight for viewing as Match Destination Formatting. We will be replacing the final SPL on the ECTD backbone. If the final SPL already exists on the ECTD backbone, then we should always use the replace operation, unless it is absolutely a new SPL. In that case, you would use new as the XML operation. You would also use the new XML operation if you are including additional JPEG image files in the SPL. In that case, only the additional JPEG files would have the new XML operation. Since we are using the Replace XML operation, we want to make sure that the publisher replaces the correct final SPL. So take this month and year information and paste into the What is being replaced column. Now, let's go back to the ECTD title column and bulk update information as needed using the Find and Replace functionality. Select the operation. Enter here the sequence number of the SPL you are replacing. This worksheet is now complete for a final SPL. Before we move on to the submission content plan in Vault RIM, let's review how to use the Tip Sheet tab. This sheet was created so you can copy and paste into the SPL Publishing Worksheet tab. In this area, we have the draft labeling and final labeling structure for SPL. The idea is to copy and paste it into the SPL Publishing Worksheet tab and use the Find and Replace functionality to build your SPL Publishing Worksheet. This column here is a list of JPEG ECTD file names in sequential order from 1 to 60. This can be helpful if you need to create a new SPL or add to an existing SPL in your publishing worksheet. Now that the worksheet is complete, let's open the labeling section in the submission content plan in Vault RIM. Please refer to the SCP for Labeling hands-on demonstration for a complete review of how to use SCP for labeling. Expand the labeling section in the SCP viewer. Confirm your content plan and content plan item records are active. As you can see, we already have a content plan item for the SPL. Right now, it's named Draft Labeling Text. We are going to update the content plan document name with the same title we will be using for the SPL XML ECTD title. Click the three dots action menu next to the content plan item. Click Edit. From the SPL Publishing Worksheet, copy the document name, Control-C. Now go back to the SCP and paste, Control-V. See the SCP for Labeling hands-on demonstration for how to add more content plan items to the submission content plan. At this point, the SPL should have already been uploaded to Vault RIM. Open the Vault library in one window. Find the location of the SPL zip file. Next, open the SCP viewer in a second window. Drag and drop the SPL zip file onto the content plan item for which you just updated the document name. For demonstration purposes, we will also link the final SPL for docetaxel to this SCP. We are going to populate the content plan item information now. For the draft SPL, scroll over to the XML title. In this field, we will enter the ECTD title. This is the same information we used for the document name. Now, let's do the same for the final SPL. Copy from the SPL Publishing Worksheet and paste into the SCP. Next, you will populate the XML operation. For the draft SPL, the XML operation will be new. However, for the final SPL, this will be a replace. Now, we will populate the link to sequence field. For the draft SPL, since the operation is new, you would leave the link to sequence field blank. For the final SPL, because this is a replace operation, you must enter a sequence number in the link to sequence field. As we know from our SPL Publishing Worksheet, that number is 179. Now we will populate the comments field. The comments field is for you to communicate instructions to the publisher. Go to the SPL Publishing Worksheet, click on the Tip Sheet tab, and you will see the comments statement that you can just copy from here. Control-C. And paste into the SCP comments field like this. Control-V. Let's do the same for the final SPL comments field. We have completed populating the SCP for structured product labeling. Please refer to the SCP for labeling hands-on demonstration for locking and approving labeling content plan documents. The last step is to attach the SPL publishing worksheet to the submission record, so the publishing team knows how to include SPL in the submission. Since we are still in the SCP, you can go to the breadcrumb links at the top of the screen here. Click the submission number link. This will take you to the submission record, which is linked to this SCP. On the left-hand pane, click the Attachments section. Here is where you will upload the SPL publishing worksheet. Click the Upload button. Go to where you saved the SPL publishing worksheet on your computer for this submission. Click Open. Now the publisher has the instructions they need to add SPL to the submission. This concludes the demonstration of how to add structured product labeling to a submission content plan. Please make sure to check out the SCP for Labeling training page in the Global Labeling SharePoint site. You will find various support resources on the SharePoint site to help you with SCP for labeling. Thank you and have a great day.